Hey, this is Murray from Team Take Massive Action, and I'm at my favorite video spot. Please do not feed the wildlife. So I'm on my lunch break here, and I wanted to shoot a quick video for my 90-day video challenge. However, this one is not going to be posted, and this one is going to contain potential R-rated comments. Something I got to get off my chest. Kind of feels strange telling you this, but I gotta say it into the camera, and I'm probably gonna distribute this only to a few real tight, close friends. But something's been holding me back, and I just gotta let it go and choose to control how I react to bad things. This thing has probably been consuming me, and I've been wasting a lot of mental energy on this. And it's been holding me back, and I'm going to let it go, but I appreciate any feedback. This has to do with my job, and this job wouldn't be so bad. It's a decent company. My boss is a good guy, nice kid. He's a young kid. He's real sharp. Most of the people in the company are pretty cool, but what's killing me is my boss's boss. Vice President of Finance, and I'll tell you a quick story about him. He's the kind of guy who would be shot by his own men in Vietnam. I mean, he's not stupid, he's smart, but he is just a complete fucking asshole. I got hired by him. I went around. We did all kinds of tremendous schmoozing and amazing. I'm very proud of how I got this job, because there was a hiring freeze, and during the post Y2K crash, and I got into the back door and actually finagled with this guy who ultimately hired me, and he pulled some strings to get me. Now, I didn't know him before the company, but I had a million people call him personally and recommend me, hence the birth of my testimonial craze. And we had an interview, and he liked immediately, well, let's just say we hit it off, and I demonstrated that I knew what I was doing, and I could help him out right away, and he was smart enough to recognize that, so he hired me, pulled some strings. He changed the head count around to make it look like we weren't going to hire it. We didn't hire anybody because he had that control. But basically, it's a clear case of who you know, not what you know. And you know, every day for the first 60 days that I worked there, that I worked here, he would come out of his office and ask me something every day. I was right around the corner from his office, and usually the questions were, "What do you think of Joe? What do you think of Susie? What do you think of Al? What do you think of so and so?" You know, and I didn't hold anything back. I'm not a political guy. I just told it like I said, saw it like I tell it like I saw it. And I figured out that he was gauging my knowledge of how I thought about other people. If he agreed with my thoughts on somebody else, then I was an okay guy, and I had potential. So apparently I was batting 1,000. Up until like about the 60th day, and you know, both good and bad. I'd say, well, this guy really knows his stuff, and I'm glad to be working with him, and he'd agree. Or I'd say, this guy is a complete stiff, and I'm not going to waste my time with him, and he'd agree. And so I was batting 1,000, and then one day, he said, "What do you think about Julie?" I probably shouldn't use her real name. She'll never see this. "What do you think about Julie?" And I said, "Well, I think Julie is very smart, but she's incredibly lazy, and just doesn't give a shit about anything, and takes no responsibility for anything, and so I'm not going to waste my time with her anymore." Well, I found out the next day that Julie was a good friend of his, and that's the last I heard from this guy. For 10 years, I've probably spoken to him like 20 times. But up until that point, every day, for 60 days, he would come and talk to me. But since I disagreed with him about this one person, who now, by the way, he can't stand because she doesn't give a shit, she's lazy, and I mean, he agrees with what I said 10 years ago, but he'll never come back and tell me that. Anyway, the point is, this guy is an amazing jerk. He just treats people like crap. He doesn't like to have anybody that disagrees with him. It's raining. You smell popcorn? And he's just impossible to deal with. He doesn't give anybody any credit for doing anything. He is outrageous. He insults people in meetings. Completely bad manager as far as taking care. Doesn't recognize any achievements. Doesn't give anybody a pat on the back. Just derides people. He's always negative. But he has one guy that he likes who doesn't do anything, but he likes him. Everybody else is a jerk, according to him. So it's so bad that you have to watch everything you say around this guy because he holds it against you. So, and I'm not the kind of, I just say what's on the top, what I feel. I don't calculate what I'm going to say to meet somebody's whim. And so therefore, I'm probably at the peak that I'm going to be at this company because I'm not political enough to get to the top. The people at the top only like to surround themselves with people who agree with them. They don't like to hear any dissension on anything. So this is how bad it is. We had a review with my boss, and our suggested game plan to handle this guy was for me to avoid him. And if I saw him coming down the hallway, to turn down another hallway. I mean, how friggin' bad is it that in order to succeed with working with a guy, you avoid him at all costs? How friggin' bad is that? That's pathetic. But I have to say, the strategy worked. So I've avoided this guy for like 3 years, and I think he likes me now. I can tell you this, they can't afford to fire me. I'm the only one who does this stuff that I do. I'm an accountant who knows, I used to be in manufacturing, and accountants who know manufacturing, very rare. You have to know what's going on to get the costs correct and to understand where the costs go. 99% of accountants that we're hiring or that are out there just do basic accounting shit. But to apply accounting shit to an actual manufacturing operation, those are hard to come by. Most accountants aren't interested in it. Most accountants don't care, and I'm the opposite of that. I enjoy manufacturing. I enjoy this whole process. So I'm not going to bore you with the details, but it's a very complicated manufacturing operation, and 99% of the accountants of this company actually don't have any clue of what we do. They just look at the books. So this guy's got a dilemma. I mean, I don't think he likes me, but he can't get rid of me. And the only other guy who knows what's going on is retiring. So anyway, the point of this video is that this has been eating me up. How to deal with this guy. He's such a jerk. And I'm not the only one who feels this way. It's a pretty universal opinion. But I'm one of the few who has to work for him. Everybody else avoids him. I mean, he's a smart guy. He does get things done. But he's a piss-poor manager. So I've been wasting all this energy, as you can tell, probably, worrying about this jerk-off. And just being miserable. Completely fucking miserable. This is really, I just hate coming to work. I hate coming to work for many other reasons, which is why I'm in Empower Network and I'm trying to get out of this whole thing. But this particular aspect of it makes it unique in why I don't like coming to work compared to the typical issues with commuting and lack of time control and the same litany of things that everybody else hates going to a day job. This is really what makes it different for me. I mean, I could live with the day job if it wasn't for this guy. It's just intolerable. So I've got to reframe this whole thing. I've got to not let it get to me and just... the reason it's so bad is because I'm letting it... It's an event that I am allowing to get to me. You know what I mean? And I know in many other things in my life I've been able to let things roll off because it's my response to the event that determines how I proceed, the results I'm going to get. But this particular situation, I've been unable to shake, and it just dawned on me today that it's how I'm reacting to it that's killing me. So I made a determination this morning to come in fresh and not worry about it and just be me And if they fire me, fuck him. Good. You know, I don't give a shit. I really don't. But, you know, I'm not going to let it get to me. I'm not going to... It so happens that we have every 5 years they hire a company to come in and do an outside survey of how the company's, you know, how are we doing? And basically, it's supposed to be anonymous. You know that that's not the case. And up until this year, I've always played the party game of, you know, I don't want them to find me. So I kind of hedge my response to a favorable position. But this year, I'm not going to be favorable. I'm going to tell them how I feel. And it's all based on this guy. So, but, and if they want to, you know, how would they react to that? I don't really care. If they find out it's me, I don't care. So, I'm still working on this, obviously, but I'm resigned. I am resolute in not letting this guy get to me anymore, because I'm better than him. I don't want, you know, if I let this guy bother me, he's winning. This guy can't win. He's a loser. I'm the winner. I'm going to win this. Because, you know why I'm going to win this? Because I'm a badass. This guy is not. This guy is a lame ass. I am a badass. So anyway, I really appreciate you watching this. That's the major issue in my life right now. I've got to get past this, and I will. So thanks for being there. Thanks for, if you're watching this, that means I handpicked you. You can pick your nose and you can pick your friends, but you can't pick your friend's nose. You know what I mean? I think that's an old Buddhist philosophy. Anyway, it's starting to rain a little harder, so I think I'm going to close this off. Thanks for watching. Be a badass today. I'm not going to ask you to click on anything because you already are in. You know what I'm saying? All right. Be a badass today.